Hi, I'm Rocco Stano, and welcome to StoryMakers. Today we have Sam Thompson with us, all the way from Ireland, the author of Wolf's Tongue and its sequel, The Fox's Tower. Welcome, Sam.
Hey, Rocco, it's so good to be here.
Watch out, Sam, it's a wolf.
Don't worry, Rocco. He is one of the good guys in my story.
Well, he looks scary.
Well, he is scary and he could be dangerous, but wolves have much more reason to fear us than we have to fear them.
Really? Why is that?
Human beings are the most dangerous animals of all. In Ireland, where I live, there used to be wolves, but there haven't been any for more than 250 years because the human beings got rid of them. And why are human beings so dangerous? It's because they tell stories. The human beings told one another a story about how wolves were bad and dangerous and we had to get rid of them. And because all the human beings believed that story, they worked together and it happened.
Tell us about these stories.
Well, Wolf's Tongue is the story of a boy who discovers that there is a hidden world where animals speak. Silas is on his way home from school one day and he meets a wolf called Isengrim. They make friends and Silas goes on an adventure in this world called the forest. He helps the wolves to escape from the foxes and from their leader, Reynard. Look out, Rocco. Reynard the fox is a bad guy.
He looks harmless.
Well, he may look nice, but he's sneaky.
Well, thanks for the warning.
In Wolf's Tongue, Silas helps the wolves to escape from Reynard, but in the fox's tower, Reynard comes back. So by this time, Silas is a grown-up and he has a daughter called Willow, who's 12 years old. One night, Willow sees the foxes steal her dad away, and so she sets out to rescue him. She goes on a journey into the forest and she discovers that Reynard has built a huge magical tower full of strange creatures. So she has to find out why Reynard has stolen her dad and how to get him back.
When you were a kid, I bet you enjoyed books about talking animals.
Yes, I did. So one of my first favorites was Where the Wild Things Are, where Max wears his wolf suit and makes mischief of one kind and another. He wants to sail away from home and go to the place where the wild creatures live.
Right.
And then when I was a bit older, I really liked The Jungle Book, where Mowgli is raised by wolves and he learns all about love and loyalty from his wolf pack. Rocco, imagine that your favorite wild animal can speak to you. What do you think it would say?
Well, my favorite wild animal is an elephant. And it probably would say, "You remember me because I remember you," because elephants have great memories. Where did this particular idea come from?
When my son, Oren, was about 7 years old, he really liked wolves, and we used to play wolves and draw wolf comics. And at the same time, he was having trouble with speaking. He couldn't always say the words that he wanted to say. So I wanted to write a story that would help when words were difficult. And I knew that if it was a story about wolves, he would like it. And that made sense because wolves don't need words.
There are interesting character names in this story. For example, a lion named Noble, like the noble lion. Where did these names come from?
I didn't make up the animal names in this story. I took them from old folk stories from medieval times about Reynard the sneaky fox and Isengrim the fierce hungry wolf and Noble the wise lion who's the king of the animals. So in those stories, the animals always behave like you'd expect from their species. So the fox is always clever and tricky, the wolf is always fierce and bad, and the lion is wise and good, and he's the king of the animals and tells them all what to do just because he's the lion. When I wrote my story, I thought, I don't see why the wolf always has to be the bad guy. I think maybe that's just a story that Reynard has told us. So I thought I would tell the wolf's side of the story.
Why is Reynard so evil?
Well, Reynard would tell you that he isn't evil, he just has big plans and he is willing to do what it takes to make them happen. So in Wolf's Tongue, Reynard wants to build a big underground city for the foxes to live in, and to do that, he makes the wolves his slaves. And then in the fox's tower, his plans get even bigger and he wants to build this huge magical tower where all the foxes can live.
Oh, you mean this tower?
Yes, this tower is a wonderful place for the foxes because Reynard has discovered how to make magical creatures out of clay.
Clay?
Yes, from magic clay from deep down in the heart of the earth. Reynard has made these giant, scary clay wolves to make sure that everyone behaves, and clay monkeys to fix anything that's broken, and clay rats to clean up the rubbish. But then, one day, Noble the lion comes along and takes over, and everything starts to go wrong. So Willow has to get her dad back before the whole tower falls down.
You have a great imagination, Sam. Viewers, if you were to design a world for your favorite animal, what would it look like?
That's a great question, Rocco. What would you design?
As I mentioned earlier, my favorite wild animal is an elephant. So it would be a world where there are domed buildings because we wouldn't want them to hit their heads on the ceiling. And they like to keep cool by going into water. So there would be swimming pools all around, and they have to eat. So trees where they can find fruits and other things that they may enjoy eating. And I would call it Ella Land, unless you have a better idea. I want to hear more. Does this story continue?
Yes. Keep an eye out for the third book in the series, The Forest Yet to Come, where we will meet Silas and Willow and Reynard and the wolves again, but their world will look very different.
We'll definitely keep our eye out for it. Well, thanks for being with us.
It's been my pleasure.
And remember, until next time, read a book in any format